I'm about to show you possible paranormal activity caught on camera at a jail in London, Kentucky. The person who sent me the video is a former corrections officer at the facility. The video focuses on a cell that's supposed to be empty. And remember, correctional officers check cells almost every hour.
It's goddamn creepy. Alright. Is there nobody in that cell?
No!
Nobody's in that cell.
No!
It's closed right there.
When we was still there a while ago at 12:12 and there was a...
I'm not shaking too.
If you didn't see it, it looks like someone moves in front of the window. Remember, it's a jail and the only way in or out is through that door you're looking at.
Look at the doll.
La muñeca se movió, Chicho. Chicho se movió con la muñeca, güey. La madre, güey. La madre, güey.
I'm not sure what this weird-looking fish is, but this is why I won't swim in canals or rivers.
Demon fish. So weird.
So do you guys want to learn about a creature that's actually scarier than the Native American skinwalker? A lot of you have not heard of this, and is actually believed to be the reason why so many people go missing in the national forest. Check this out. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you have actually heard about this. Alright, so unfortunately, the original origins of the flesh gates, as what are these creatures called, are not known. A lot of people believe that they're cursed spirits, evil spirits, or an unknown cryptid that we haven't discovered. And they like to wreak havoc, and actually people, when they encounter these, most people don't survive to tell the tale. They are also shapeshifters, and unfortunately for a lot of us that live in the United States, they have been sighted in national forests where a lot of people go missing and disappearing without a trace. So one of the things that we are warned through Native Americans is never to whistle when you're out in the woods, and there's a reason for that. This particular creature actually is attracted to people when they're whistling out and about in the woods. So in general, they are predatory against humans, and many believe that they lure people by attracting you and calling you by name or trying to mimic somebody you actually love. Let me know if you want to learn more about these in part 2.
This is a story that my abuelito, grandfather, told me about seeing a nagual, a Mexican creature that can shapeshift into any form. This took place at the countryside of Mexico, where at the time there were hardly any streetlights or roads. During the day, everyone was in the house, everything was normal. In a split second, they see a dog come into the house. Everyone freaks out. This dog came in and it ran through the living room and it ran through the kitchen. Everyone who was in the kitchen, they screamed and left. Ay, no mames, let's go. One of my uncles reported seeing red eyes as it went through the house. They couldn't believe it, a dog with red eyes. Then my other aunts and my granddad reported the same thing. It had red eyes and its paws, it wasn't normal paws. These were like humongous paws. At this point, everyone is in the living room, hearing this thing in the kitchen. It was growling, it was throwing dishes on the floor, it was breaking things, breaking chairs. Everyone is either in the living room or in the bedrooms or outside. No one is in the kitchen. They scream in terror because they want this thing out. It wasn't a dog. At this point, they realized this thing, it didn't behave as a dog. My granddad zoomed into his room to get protection, to defend himself and the family. Alright, like for part 2 because this is a long story.
This is a terrifying story from police officers in Richmond, Virginia. One night, several residents in a neighborhood called and complained about hearing yelling and screaming coming from inside a house. The officers got on scene and found the front door was ajar. They made their way inside and clearly heard yelling and screaming coming from upstairs. The The staircase was narrow and provided little cover for the officers, so they yelled from downstairs and told them to stop fighting and come out. Their commands were ignored, and they continued to hear the sound of the fight escalating. The officers grabbed a shield and formed an entry team to make their way upstairs and stop the disturbance. Once the officers got to the landing, the screaming and shouting stopped. The officers again ordered whoever was fighting to come out, but all they heard was silence. They checked every inch of that house, but it was completely empty. The officers spoke with the neighbors about the incident. They were confused because the people who used to live in that house moved away abruptly for no given reason.
Okay, this is 100% true, and it's horrifying. This is the Brodus family. In 2014, they bought a house in Westfield, New Jersey for $1.3 million. A few days after signing the lease, they found a horrifying letter in the mailbox.
Dearest new neighbor, I pass by many times a day. 657 Boulevard is my job, my life, my obsession, and now you are too. You have children, I've seen them. I watch and wait for the day the young blood will be mine again. Will the young blood play in the basement? Or are they too afraid to go down there alone? I would be too. It is far away from the rest of the house. If you were upstairs, you would never hear them scream. Welcome to the neighborhood, the Watcher.
So they delayed moving in indefinitely. But the letters didn't stop for 3 years, each containing specific details about the family and threats directed at their children. Now, what's worse is the neighborhood turned against them and refused to cooperate with the investigation. If it was me and that guy was in my neighborhood, I'd want him to be found. The letters even started to refer to themselves as soldiers of the boulevard. Now, I'm not saying it's the whole neighborhood, but it's the whole neighborhood. And that's why rich people scare me.